Ji, please do not worry about Manipur. We are fighting here with the blessing of Ma'am President Srimati Sonia Ji as well as Rahul Ji and Priyanka Ji on behalf of all of you. We are fighting like anything here, like fighting in the war field. We hope this time definitely we will form the government. And I also appeal to the people of Manipur. People of Manipur want a chance. They are fed up with the ruling of this Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's rule at the center for the last 7 years, as well as BJP-led government in the state of Manipur. People of Manipur are really fed up. I appeal on behalf of Ma'am Srimati Sonia Ji, Honorable President of EICC, and Shri Rahul Gandhi Ji, and also Srimati Priyanka Ji. People of Manipur will definitely vote in favor of Congress, and I hope there will be a new chapter will be opened here in Manipur. Ma'am, you might have remember in the last 2002, this is beginning of Congress-led government here in Manipur, and followed by the UPA first at the center. Likewise, we are trying to our level best to change, bring a new chapter and form Congress government in the state of Manipur. Aduna aina Manipurda laibiriba praja singna hena khangbire Shri Narendra Modi ji sahi taret nipan changkadoba sidaida oidaba ngangba false promise taubanatana karigumba mata even pikraba state sidaida yengkhanna yengbiu India gi Union Minister Mayam, including Defense Minister, Senior Minister Rajnath Ji. Everybody rush here, Manipur da karigino moina sukyam na kiri se. Akoy hana UPA ji government matamda even Honorable Prime Minister so amuk thakalai adune hin lakte ba. Hojik sida Manipur da Union Minister Mayam thomjali vicinity Manipur ki praja singna moisi khare wae akhoi ahong ba ma Congress ki shason pame hai bisi moi khangbadagi ki na ai ras tor pani selak pani hai na khali adana Manipur ki praja singda karigumba amta kiningai maram karim ta leite hojik handak ki tanja se akhoi gi yamna luraba true ballot na akhoi ahong ba ma sungsoi soidna purakna ba koi hona miner si haina praja singda ya apel taujari amukka sahanna Congress ke khobak yekpa markada vote pibiduna chatliba thasigi February kunipan ahan ba phase aduga ani suba phase na March tang manga da thada gadoribe elections da Congress ke khobak yekpa markada vote pibiduna anouba Manipur ama haukiba chahi mangagi chahi taret ki center gi amamba perat haiba tare dak perat se anganba sakhatpa adugumba Manipurama purakna ba hotna miner si haiduna ai praja punamakta Manipur ki praja punamakta appeal si taujari. Thank you very much.
Kaikum Nazaraba CLP leader Namaru Eraba Waikra Thambikra Tungsida Kaikum Nazaraba party ki president Mingwena Panjarabada Sri Loken Singhana Honorable MLA na Waikra Thambina Bagi Damakta Nolokjari.
Respected Madam Priyanka Ji, I am a Loken Singh, President MPCC. Respected Madam, I on behalf of all Manipur and the MPCC, I welcome to you the visual meeting. Thank you. Ngasi ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ AICCꯒꯤ ꯖꯦꯅꯔꯦꯜ ꯁꯦꯀ꯭ꯔꯦꯇꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯊꯧ ꯄꯨꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯦꯗꯥꯝ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯤꯌꯥꯡꯀꯥ ꯒꯥꯟꯙꯤꯒ ꯚꯤꯖꯨꯑꯦꯜ ꯃꯤꯇꯤꯡ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯆꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯆꯥꯕ ꯂꯧꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯗꯦꯁ ꯀꯣꯡꯒ꯭ꯔꯦꯁꯀꯤ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯄꯤꯜꯁꯤꯃꯇꯪ ꯇꯧꯖꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯥꯛꯀꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯐꯦꯕ꯭ꯔꯨꯋꯥꯔꯤꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯔꯤꯛ 29 ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯃꯥꯔꯆꯀꯤ ꯇꯥꯔꯤꯛ 5ꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯔꯤꯛ 5ꯗ ꯐꯦꯖ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯊꯣꯛꯅ ꯄꯥꯡꯊꯣꯛꯀꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯏꯂꯦꯛꯁꯟꯁꯤꯗ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯚꯥꯔꯇꯤꯌꯥ ꯖꯅꯇꯥ ꯄꯥꯔꯇꯤꯅ ꯂꯨꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯂꯕ ꯗꯣꯜ 5ꯒꯤ ꯆꯨꯡꯁꯤꯟꯅꯕ ꯁꯥꯁꯣꯜ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ngasi di election maya yorpasida manipur gi praja miyam da yamna kihal khohan ba yamna violence oiba mawong da amadi hauji election gi call of conduct lairaba matung sida su date back ta sigumba transfer posting kaya ama aikogi lairiba sarkar asina lakadoriba election sida ngamdaba yadi haibagi wakalon da tawkhalakpa adu ta sunnatna ngasi da laibak pairiba honorable chief minister masamak aduga council of ministers singna aikogi lairiba voters singda governmental employees singda telephone da karida thitan torga kihalaga election khombagi adugum laba yamna democracy bu khungau na ba aduba khongjang ama sangsin bidakli aduna manipur gi praja miyam da aina manipur pradesh congress ki mai gaidi ki appeal simatang taujari madu punamak kibi ganu aikoi lakadoriba aikoi gi march ki tarik 5 da amasung february ki tarik 19 da pangthok kadoriba sigumba election sigi matungda ngasi da manipur praja singna ngasi ki da luchingba BJP na toriba sasol sina manipur praja miyam da piriba chaitheng amasung poll promise kaya sina maram orakanda aikoi handaki lakadoriba election sida sungsoi soidramaki bharatiya janata party base maithi gane haina khangbaga loinana aikoi gi manipur gi praja miyam da kihanba kolanba kaya ama tawri aduna manipur gi praja miyam na ngasi da lairiba sarkar ngasi da lairiba chief minister caretaker ki sarkar ni aikoi gi sada hairagana maya yaudraba kai gumbani maduda manipur praja singna kibiganu haidana ngasi gi asugum laba visual meeting ngasi gi khudong chaba lawra kanda aina manipur gi praja miyam da thamjari aduga aroi bada ngasi aikoi lakadoriba sigumba election sida manipur praja miyam gi adugumba aikoi na mandate adu phangba taragadi manipur praja miyam gi damakta aikoi gi congress na haukiba tam kaya dasu manipur praja miyam gi yaifana bak toramba aduga handakti aikoi gi election sida manipur progressive secular alliance saitna aikoi party tarukna chingsal lakanda hadakta leriba bharatiya janata party ki sasol se muthatna bakhona bada aikoi na changchal liba khongjang sida manipur ki praja miyam nasu adum laba congress ta vote pbu haidna manipur ki praja miyam da ikokno na khurum jabag loina mayam punamakpu ai amuk kahanna ikokno na khurum jari
Mathanga City next, I call upon Sir Bhakti Charan Das ji, in charge AICC, to give a welcome address for Madam.
आदरणीय
Priyanka ji.
PCC प्रेसिडेंट परम आदरणीय श्री OV सिंह जी, वर्किंग प्रेसिडेंट सभी साथियों और हमारे आज के मुख्य अतिथि परम आदरणीय श्रीमती प्रियंका गांधी बादर जी, आज इस वर्चुअल मीटिंग में सारे मणिपुर में ये सभा लोग देख रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं और इसमें मैं हमारे मुख्य अतिथि भारत की बेटी, भारत मां का के ऐसे बेटी हैं जो निडर हैं, निर्भीक हैं, हर सुख दुख में महिलाओं की आवाज बनके, पीड़ितों की आवाज बनके, शोषितों की आवाज बनके इन दिनों आप लोगों ने देखा है पूरे दुनिया को अपनी बातों से हिलाया है और उत्तर प्रदेश की इतिहास बदलने में बहुत बड़ा आयाम उन्होंने शुरू किया है और पूरा देश उनको देख रही है। मैं उन महान भारत के भूमि के बेटी, निडर बेटी, दुर्गा रूपी मां रूपी प्रियंका गांधी जी को मैं सादर आमंत्रित करता हूं. I welcome her to address this virtual meeting. Respected Priyanka Gandhi ji. Please.
Srimati Priyanka Gandhi ji koi gi lakta minute ani ki manung da changlak lagani. Haipatang technical laibana ni hujik 2 minutes ki manung da akoi gi manung da akoi gi marakta lakpi ragani.
After Priyanka Gandhi ji's address, we request the media people to stay back because all of you are going to see how the violent activities the BJP party has begun against our candidates in different constituency, how the attack on our candidates' house is happening. We want to speak on that, all the leaders on the dais, and CLP leader and PCC president will speak on, address the people and the media also. प्रियंका गांधी जिंदाबाद, प्रियंका गांधी जिंदाबाद,
Zindabad, Zindabad,
प्रियंका गांधी जिंदाबाद,
Zindabad, Zindabad,
कांग्रेस पार्टी जिंदाबाद,
Zindabad,
कांग्रेस पार्टी जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
सोनिया गांधी जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
सोनिया गांधी जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
राहुल गांधी
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
राहुल गांधी जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद
प्रियंका गांधी जिंदाबाद.
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
You are most welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I would like to first of all thank you all very much for coming and listening to me and for collecting in such good numbers. I can see all of you on little small screens in front of me, so it's really wonderful to be addressing you today in this new way. I hope to be able to come to Manipur in a few days as well soon and address you in person as well. I'd like to welcome all the senior leaders of the Congress Party, Shri Bhakt Charan Das, the PCC President Shri Loken Singh ji, Shri Mangi Babu ji, Megh Chandra ji, Shri Ratan Kumar Singh ji, Shri Okrami Bobi Singh ji, all of you very, very welcome to this virtual meeting. I believe that you would like to first begin with just an interaction and asking me some questions. So I'd be very happy to answer. And you could begin with that, and then I'll address you after that.
You like, ma'am. So, the constituency?
I think my list here says Haingang.
Hengang,
Hangang present.
Hengang, please.
Thank you.
Hangang is Grindo, Piro, Hangang is Grindo.
The CM's constituency, Hengang.
Hangang is Grindo, Piro.
Good morning,
Good morning.
priyanka ji.
Good morning.
Wah, hai bira kino.
मेरा नाम है जी
Please carry on.
यार अब बताइए
Makata na hai thabi bro.
मेरा नाम है ती बोहल शर्मा
जी
अंगान केंद्र
जी
मैं शरद कुमार कैंडिडेट का शरद चंद्र सिंह कांग्रेस कैंडिडेट का एडवाइजर हूँ सीनियर एडवाइजर
आई सी
मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा मेरा कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी है इसमें 33,379 वोटर्स है तो इसमें हैंगांग केंद्र इसलिए कह रहा है हमारा केंद्र का जो नाम लेकर के केंद्र का नाम बनता है तो श्री शरद चंद्र का दिल में हमारा हैंगांग में एक झील था पहले का ये जो है अभी समय के वास्ते ये जो है अभी खेती बाड़ी चलते हैं हमारा पॉपुलेशन का 90% जो है खेती कमाने वाला है खेती का काम करने वाला है हम लोग जो है एक सर्विसमैन मैं हूं मैं 75 उम्र का एक इंसान है तो हम ये कहना चाह रहा हूं हमारा जो केंद्र है इसके बीच में एक इम्फाल रिवर नाम का एक रिवर है मतलब नदी है इसमें से पानी लेकर के हमारा ये सूखा हुआ झील को हम लोग खेती करने का जो हो रहा है इसको डबल क्रॉपिंग का नाम से इरिगेशन
Thank you very much, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next, ma'am.
I think he hadn't finished. I think he hadn't finished. So आप आगे आप खत्म कर लीजिए जो आप कह रहे थे आप
तो
शायद
इसमें-
पूछना चाह रहे हैं क्या आप पूछना चाह रहे हैं कि अभी आपकी पानी की सुविधा नहीं है शायद खेती के लिए और आप शायद
इतना
No, madam, actually, in that particular area, there was a main river flowing there,
Yes.
and that is not properly utilized. They want to utilize it for a proper irrigation for
That
the
is-
double cropping process.
that is what exactly what I understood. That's why I said that they हिंदी में बोलूं कि इंग्लिश में इजी है आपके लिए
दोनों में बाद में चलेगा
दोनों में तो जो जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि वहाँ पे एक झील है और उसका सही इस्तेमाल नहीं हो रहा है और पानी आपका ज़्यादातर आप किसान हैं और पानी नहीं आता है किसान मतलब अपनी खेती में पानी डालने के लिए कमी हो रही है तो कांग्रेस पार्टी ये कह रही है कि इस चुनाव में एक हमने जो प्रॉमिस किया है उसमें ये है कि जितने भी इरिगेशन के जो ऑनगोइंग प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं और जो आगे के लिए भी प्लान्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं उन सब का रिव्यू करके इरिगेशन का जो सिस्टम है उसको मजबूत बना के ताकि आपके लिए ये समस्या नहीं आए ताकि आपकी खेती में पानी खुलकर आए और इसके साथ साथ ये भी हम प्लान कर रहे हैं कि सेरिकल्चर हॉर्टिकल्चर फिशिकल्चर और ये सब होलिस्टिक तरह से एक जो डेवलपमेंट करने का ताकि अलग अलग चीज़ों के साथ भी आप आगे बढ़ सकते हैं सिर्फ जो आपकी खेती है उसको पूरी तरह से डेवलप करने के लिए तो ये सब चीज़ें हैं आप शायद मुख्यमंत्री जी के क्षेत्र के हैं तो आज जो मुख्यमंत्री हैं वो आपकी आवाज़ नहीं सुन रहे हैं वो जब आपकी समस्या है उन्हीं के क्षेत्र में इतनी बड़ी समस्या है और कोई उसको सॉल्व करने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा है। इसीलिए हम कहना चाहते हैं ज़रूर कि अगर हमारी सरकार आएगी, हम पूरा फोकस डालेंगे इस पे, इरिगेशन पे, और ये नए एवेन्यूज़ डेवलप करने में, जैसे मैंने कहा पिशी कल्चर, सेरिकल्चर, हॉर्टिकल्चर भी, ताकि आपका जो एरिया है वो अच्छी तरह से मजबूती से आगे बढ़े।
धन्यवाद।
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I call upon the Phungnier Rumhei Mahu. Phungnier gi kese kano tum ta thabi ro screen dom ta. Phungnier Ukhrul district.
Hello, how pretty you are looking in your dress.
Thank you, Priyanka ji. Namaste. I'm Ramonghi Mahong, representing Phungyer Kantra and Hill District. First, I'd like to raise you two questions. One is, India is going to celebrate 75th Independence Day. But we Northeasterners are ignored, neglected, and not recognized by our own country. And recently we received, we have raised a lot of reports regarding the social discriminations and ill treatment mandated in mainland city and different parts of the India. So I would like to ask how the Congress Party will adopt the policy to tackle such discriminations against the Northeast people. Secondly, I'd like to share about the beauty of Manipur Hill District, that is like pure and serene land, rich in culture, flora and fauna, and the natural beauty. But still it is unexplored. If it is developed in tourism, we can raise dramatically in the revenue and employment. So I'd like to ask ma'am how the Congress Party can do changes for the people of Manipur Hill District. Thank you.
The first question you raised about discrimination. What is the fundamental source of discrimination? It's a lack of understanding and a lack of respect. Okay, now our democracy, the fact that we are a democracy, and that is what our politics has been for so many decades, that actually ensures equality, respect, inclusiveness, right? So where does discrimination come from? It comes from when the society and the politics of a nation starts to become exclusive, right? Where everybody is not being included fully, where everybody is not considered an equal fully, where certain parts of the country are ignored or considered not so important because maybe less votes are over there, or it's less important in the whole scheme of thing of governance. So where does a political party come in when these things, when these issues arise? The political party comes in basically at the very fundamental level of what is the ideology and the thinking of that political party. If as a political party, I create space for everybody, for people from Manipur, for people from Northeast, for people from South India, for people from North India, from all different states with all their various cultures, traditions. Look at your beautiful dress, for example. You have your own culture, you have your own tradition, you have your own rules and own way of living life. The whole idea of India as a nation, as my brother recently also said in Parliament, we are a nation which is a union of states, right? So we are a strong, united nation only when all our states are united with us and all our states are equally respected and all our states have the opportunities and the ability to also direct and live in the way that they choose to live, right? That is what is the fundamental basis of our democracy. Now, when it comes to people of the Northeast, the BJP and the central government today, they have a very different ideology. Their ideology is to make things uniform. So whether it is in the Northeast or say I campaigned in Goa some days back, it's a very similar problem that they're facing. They're saying we're Goans. We have our own way of living. We don't want anybody interfering in our way of living. All these years we chose to be a state of our own, because we chose that on the basis of our tradition and culture, and we want to keep that tradition and culture. So when there is a politics at the center and in your state, which doesn't respect your individual culture, doesn't respect your traditions, doesn't respect that you have your ways of living, your ways of being, which may be different, and that those need to to flourish as much as anybody else's, that's when discrimination also rises. Because then there's a certain sense in the politics of the country and in society that, you know what, it's okay to be discriminatory. It's okay to think this way of a certain people or that way of a certain religion. So that's where the Congress Party comes in. The Congress Party built this nation. The Congress Party got independence. And on what basis did we do that? That every single voice in our nation, every single voice in every state, no matter what tribe, what culture, what religion, what caste, every single voice, A, was meant to be heard, and B, was equally heard. So when we talk about discrimination rising, when we talk about racial crimes rising, when we talk about crimes against a particular people rising, why is it happening? It's happening because also in the politics of the nation today, the BJP has brought forth a politics where it's enabled. So when the Congress Party says that if it comes to power, especially in your state, and if it comes to power in the center, its politics is different. The Congress Party has always respected not just the Northeast, but every single state, has always respected your culture, has always respected your different ways of living, and wants you to flourish that way. We don't want to impose an outside way on you. And that is the fundamental root of where discrimination comes from. So I hope that with the Congress government, of course in the state, and hopefully after some years in the center, a lot of these things will change. Because there won't be this atmosphere in the country that it's okay to be like this. It's okay to discriminate. So that's part one of your question. Now, what was the second part of your question? I've given you a long lecture on the first part. On the tourism,
It's about tourism development.
on tourism, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right that you have heard so many times, I'm sure, many politicians coming even from Delhi and all saying what a jewel Manipur is for the country. Well, it's a jewel for the exact reasons that you stated. It's undiscovered. There's so many beautiful things to explore. And we in the Congress Party really believe that there has to be an emphasis on tourism so that it's properly developed and it also enables jobs. See, one of the problems that you're facing in Manipur, huge problem is unemployment. And it's because of that problem also that people are going out to seek employment, because you're not getting enough employment, enough jobs in Manipur itself. So tourism can be a great source of jobs. And here again, because our policies have always been and are more directed towards helping small and medium businesses to grow, here small, medium businesses, small hotels, small restaurants, small travel agencies, small tourist travel opportunities, etc. Those have to be strengthened. Because if you see the policies of the BJP government at the center, the policy is generally to benefit 2 or 3 big industrialists who are their friends, who are making the most money in the country, who are making thousands of crores a day, whereas the people who are the middle class and the poor are completely left on their own without any help and support. And the only way that we can actually increase jobs is by strengthening small and medium business, which means that tourism plays a big role when it comes to a state like Manipur. Because here, by strengthening small and medium businesses, even the handicrafts that come out of your traditional crafts, tourism, all these things, once they are strengthened, we will be able to create jobs and create good employment opportunities in Manipur itself.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
I hope
very
I
much.
answered. I hope I answered your questions there.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you, the Fungyar constituency. Now, I would like to request the Mayang Imphal constituency to come in. Mayang Imphal constituency. Mr. Muhammad Irfan Gurfan. Mayang Imphal constituency, please come in.
Thank you, All India Congress Committee and Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee. And I would like to thank to Ma'am Priyanka Gandhi ji. I myself, Muhammad Irfan Gufran, and I am a columnist for the past 5 years from 2017. And I am from Mangfal constituency. We are fighting sincerely in Mangfal constituency to come Congress in our constituency with Congress candidate Dr. K.H. Ratan Kumar. And our Dr. K.H. Ratan Kumar are sincerely working. May I present my thoughts about the unemployed youth in Manipur and underdevelopment in Manipur. First, let me talk about the unemployed youth. Ma'am, Manipur Public Service Commission did not conducted any exam since past 5 years of the elect coalition government, and there are no recruitment of the Indian Reserve Battalion IRB police since last 4 years. Usually in 2018, all the recruitment process had done like written exam, interview, but result has not declared till yet. Due to this, many youths of the Manipur are unemployed day by day, and their future are destroyed by the BJP-led government in Manipur. So, what are the steps you want to take if the Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee coming to power in 22 state assembly election? And let me talk about the second point, underdevelopment. In Mangfal constituency, there are no unique further development in the past 5 years of the BJP-led coalition government.
Thank you. Thank you, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I understand that unemployment, as I also said in answer to the last question, is a huge issue in Manipur. And the solution to this problem is actually to create jobs in Manipur itself. As I said before, a huge part of this depends on how much support small and medium industry gets in Manipur. It has been worst affected also by COVID lockdown. If you see what happened with COVID in Manipur, which was so badly handled, where there was such a big health crisis, and when the lockdown happened, small businesses, small manufacturing units, which created also job loss. So now we are at a place where we need to create jobs within Manipur itself. One way, of course, as I answered in the last question, was to really strengthen tourism, to improve connectivity. And as you're saying about these recruitment exams and the Public Service Commission exam, it's really quite disgraceful that it hasn't been held for so many years. And I think that one of the central promises of the Manipur Secular Progressive Alliance is that these exams will be held every year. In addition to this, what we are promising is that we'll create a Manipur regiment itself, and that recruitment for that regiment will be regularly done. So that is part of that, unemployment issue. And the other, as I said, is to create as many jobs within the state as we can. For that, there is a full plan, and that will be implemented. The details of that, I'm sure, will be out in the manifesto as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next, I call upon the Saikot constituency. Saikot constituency ki screen namda put khatpiro. Boinu Gangte, Saikot constituency. Please come in short, Mr. Srimati Boinu. Boinu yam sang na nganga kanuko khara telap na tawsi. Saikot.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, hello.
I'm Boinu Gangte, President, Sultanpur District Mahila Congress Committee. Ma'am, for empowerment and development of the hill districts of Manipur, we want Autonomous District Council to be revived and the ADC elections be held regularly. We also want the ADC Bill 2021 to be tabled and be enacted into the constitution, sorry. Thank you, ma'am. And how would the Congress government address this issue of the areas of Manipur?
Why has the ADC election not been held in so many years? It comes down to what I was saying before in answer to the first question, which is democracy respected by the BJP and its allies or not? What was the autonomous council? The Autonomous District Council is basically a method, a way in which your voice can be heard, right? It is your voice, it is your representation that is most important. The fact that elections have not been held means very clearly that that democratic process in which every single voice is important and every single voice has to be heard is being thwarted and it's being suppressed. The fact is that your elections should be regularly held and more power should be given to your autonomous district councils, because it's the district councils which are actually representing the voice of the peoples there, and your traditions, your lifestyle, your culture is represented there. So the Congress party very firmly believes that not only do you need to hold elections regularly, and we will ensure that, but also that more power goes to your autonomous district councils.
Due to shortage of time, I would now request Honorable Priyanka Gandhi ji to address the people of Manipur in this occasion of election. Respected Priyanka Gandhi ji.
I'm so happy to see so many of you sitting there in Manipur, all the way from here, from Delhi. And I would first of all like to say that I feel very honored that all of you are there to listen to me and to hear what I have to say. Look, elections are around the corner. We are in the middle of them. And you have all sorts of politicians like me from outside Manipur also coming to address you and to tell you what we think and to tell you, about our policies and how we're going to move Manipur forward in development. What's most important here really, as I said before, is how much respect is there for Manipur and the Manipuri people in all these political parties, etc., that come to speak with you. Now, everybody will tell you that Manipur is the jewel of the Northeast. But is everybody treating Manipur like the jewel of the Northeast or not? That is really the fundamental question. And with the BJP and its allies, it's very, very clear that they say these things at the time there is an election so that you should elect them. Once they are elected and they come into power, then they ignore the Northeast, they ignore Manipur. And they ignore Manipur because politically they don't think that it is important to them. It is their mindset, which is a mindset where everything has to be uniform and everything has to be imposed from the center, that allows this ignoring to happen. The fact is that Manipur's people, Manipur's traditions, Manipur's cultures, Manipur's way of being is absolutely essentially equal to any other in this country, which means that you should be respected fully. There should be full democracy, full respect, full enabling for your culture, for your traditions to flourish. Now, there is a diversity of cultures in Manipur. You have the bamboo industry, you have medicine and aromatic plants, cash crops like cashew, walnut, orange. You have huge potential in hydroelectric power generation. As the lady before said, you also have huge potential in tourism. Why is none of that being tapped for the progress of your state? Why are the discussions always everything else but development? What the Congress party is proposing is a politics of development for Manipur. What you have seen in the last 5 years is a completely different style of politics. Right from the beginning of the formation of this government, there was an undemocratic behavior and process. What happened? You elected the Congress party, but you got another government. The process which was used to give you that government, the pressurizing, the bullying, the bribing, brought that government into power. Now, when a government comes into power on that fundamentally wrong basis, what are its actions going to be like? It has continuously disrespected the mandate of 2017. Not only were MLAs bought, there was corruption, there was manipulation, there was pressurizing tactics, but the result of that was that it neither brought peace to your state, nor did it give you new jobs, employment opportunities, nor did it strengthen all these beautiful resources that you have. You have, as I said, beautiful natural resources that could be strengthened into a really vibrant tourism industry. What's actually happened is that your health index is very low. The amount that is spent on health in Manipur is shockingly low. Not only that, during COVID and the lockdown, it was very visible how Manipur is being ignored. You had a very, very weak response to COVID. Even the vaccination rates were low. The death rates were phenomenally high considering the population of Manipur. And the lockdown affected businesses all across the state. It created a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on small businesses, on medium-sized businesses. Of course, tourism, to whatever extent is there, also would come to a standstill. And the result was increase in unemployment, increase in price rises, and as you know, rampant corruption. Aside from this, when there is no employment available in the state, as I said earlier, migration takes place to a large extent. People try to look for jobs elsewhere outside the state, and they have to leave home to do that. That in itself is actually unfair. With all the potential that Manipur has, jobs should be easily provided within the state itself. The problem is that there is no will to do any of this. That the will is to remain in power, and the will is to come to power using any means and remain in power using any possible means. With that kind of politics, it's impossible for the state to develop. To develop the state, you need a politics that understands the state, understands and accepts all your voices, understands what your main problems and issues are, and really works hard to resolve those issues. Like, for example, women in Manipur, I'm so proud of all of you because you're so strong and you stand up for your people every time that there is a need. You actually keep the culture and the history of Manipur alive. Yet there are so many crimes against women. It's just rising every day. There's bad health services, bad education services, low quality of education, low quality of schools and hospitals. And despite the Imai Kaitel structure, which was started during the Congress time and strengthened throughout, where actually women get the opportunity to stand on their own feet and to be strong financially also, you are the pride of Manipur. And yet, during this corona lockdown, you also faced so many problems. The markets were badly managed, and prices of bananas rose. There was no control on those prices, and you had a lot of difficulty. So for that, see, again, you need a government that recognizes the equality of women. I am constantly striving to bring women forward, to create an atmosphere in the politics of the country where women are given equal representation in political space, especially now in Uttar Pradesh, the work I'm doing. So we have a different mindset. The mindset of the BJP towards women is not the same as the mindset of the Congress. The Congress party considers women as equals. The BJP's ideology can never consider women as equals. Therefore, with a government which is an alliance with the Congress party, it will be possible for women to be emancipated. It will be possible for them, and this is one of our promises, to get 33% of all the government jobs that are provided in Manipur. We are also promising free public transport for women, and We want to improve the management of the Ima Kaithel a lot so that you don't face the kind of problems you faced during the COVID and the lockdown. So basically, what I'm saying is that unless you have a politics in the state which respects your state, which respects your people, and respects your culture, but truly respects it from the heart, not respects it only at the time of election when votes are being cast, then only will the development of Manipur take place. You have huge problems you're facing. You're facing huge inflation, price rises, you're facing unemployment, you're facing a lack of health and education services, you're facing crimes against women. These are all increasing because the government does not have the will to work for you. It depends on dividing you, it depends on creating divisions, on religion, on ethnicity, because that's the only way that politics progresses. The Congress Party is proposing to you a politics for development, which develops your state as a whole, all of you, no matter which tribes you belong to, no matter what the ethnicity or the religion is. We only want to focus on developing your state, making the infrastructure strong, building your roads so that you have a good infrastructure, giving you jobs, creating new opportunities in tourism, creating better irrigation for the farmers of Manipur, creating better opportunities for the women of Manipur. That's why we are asking for you to support us in this election, because we are seeing that the politics of the last 5 years has hurt Manipur, and it has hurt you. And we want to fix that. We want to move you forward. We want to create a beautiful, thriving state in which everything is available in your state itself, whether it is jobs, whether it is opportunities for new businesses to start, all of that. So the Congress Party and the Progressive Alliance are proposing many new things for the coming years. I'm going to read out some of them so that you're aware of what all we are proposing. So we are proposing to give an unemployment allowance to all the youth of Manipur. We are proposing a law that ensures the right to free healthcare for all of you. So healthcare will now become a right for you, which means that it is due to you from the government. So the condition of healthcare will significantly improve with that. We promise to protect civil liberties and democratic rights of all sections of Manipuri society. Every section is important to us and valuable to us. We promise that all of you will be protected, and as I said before, the cultures and traditions of each different tribe, each different group, each different ethnicity, each different religion will be respected. We are proposing a plan in which you will have drinking water in every habitation in Manipur within the next 5 years. As I said before, the autonomous district councils are very important to us. We not only want the elections to be held regularly, but we also want them to be strengthened and to get more power so that your voices are heard fully. We are also proposing an MSP for paddy and irrigation infrastructure that will be able to move single cropping to double cropping, and will be able to also hopefully give you a very reliable supply of fertilizers, unlike what is happening today where supply is very erratic. In addition to this, we would protect the preamble of our constitution because we truly, truly believe in it. And we would secure the territorial integrity of Manipur and its historical boundaries. To protect the federal structure of India as a union of states is what we feel is our democratic duty to our nation. We will protect your civil rights and your freedoms, and not only in one section of society, but in every single section of society, because we truly believe that that is what this nation was built on. To promote and protect communal harmony in Manipur is very, very important. divisiveness has been sowed into society for political gains of certain political parties. We intend to promote harmony, to promote peace, and to do whatever we can to keep the people of Manipur united so that all of you can flourish together. For the EWS section, we also propose the right to free health care along with provision of Sorry, I've just noticed that I read the same point again. So we know that there is a big drug menace also in Manipuri society. By the way, I remember, sorry I'm interrupting my own speech, but I remember many, many years ago, I think almost 20 years ago, when my mother came to give her first speech in Manipur, she was very shy and she was reading from papers. And she started reading and she got lost. So she started reading the wrong thing. And then she suddenly said, oh my God, I've read the wrong thing. And she was in a big public meeting with thousands of people. And when she came home, she told me, you know, I got lost. I said to those people, everybody standing there, I was so embarrassed. I said, I've lost my page. And they all shouted back, don't worry, Sonia, we love you. So I know that your love for my family has been deep and old, and I got reminded of that just now when I reread the same page again. So I hope you realize and know that the love between my family, the Congress Party, and the people of Manipur always remains strong. And that all these promises that we make, we intend to deliver on. We are not making them just because the elections are around the corner. We want to be given the opportunity to work hard for you and to develop your state the way it should be developed so that it flourishes and it becomes the hub of all your employment opportunities, and it becomes a beautiful sort of destination for the rest of the country. It's well connected to the rest of the country, and you yourself are able to stand on your own feet. Providing safe drinking water and an uninterrupted power supply is one of our major goals in Manipur. We also want to ensure that the one-crop farmers become two-crop or three-crop farmers in the next 5 years. We want to fight the drug menace, which is sort of spreading vastly in Manipur. And the ways to fight this, of course, is to provide support, counseling, etc. But it's also to provide employment opportunities. Because the reason a lot of these things happen is because there's depression due to unemployment and lack of opportunity. So all in all, I would like to say that the Congress Party is truly committed to giving you a strong government that is Manipuri, for the people of Manipur, for the development of Manipur. Our primary goal is development. We want a peace and harmonious society to move forward all together in a united way and to be able to provide every opportunity for Manipuris in Manipur itself. So thank you very much for listening to me and for coming in such large numbers. I hope that you will give the Congress Party the opportunity to form a government in Manipur with all its alliance partners, and that you will finally get a government that is for Manipur and works taking into consideration all your needs, all your voices as one whole. Thank you very much. Have a good day. It's been lovely to see all of you.
Priyanka Gandhi Jindabad!
Jindabad!
Priyanka Gandhi Jindabad!
Jindabad!
Priyanka Gandhi Jindabad!
Jindabad!
Priyanka Gandhi Jindabad!